Hey everybody, Chad Hasty here, host of the Chad Hasty Show, which airs on News Talk 790 KFYO and streams online at KFYO.com. Yesterday on the show, we talked a lot about the big winners out of Iowa, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, the actual winner from Iowa. I heard from a lot of Trump supporters going, hey, wait a minute, what about our guy? Our guy finished second place. Donald Trump was a winner because he tweeted out that he was never expected to win Iowa, even though, yeah, he kind of was expected to win Iowa. Look, at one point, none of these candidates were expected to do well in Iowa. If you go back a year, it was actually Scott Walker who was predicted to win Iowa. So don't give me this whole this whole junk about how Donald Trump wasn't supposed to win Iowa, and somehow him finishing in second place all of a sudden means that that was a great win for Donald Trump. No, it wasn't. It was a disappointment. You know it. At least be honest about it, okay, Trump supporters? Now, for those who are saying that Trump is dead, okay, no, he's not. The Donald Trump campaign is not over yet. You know, I've seen a lot of tweets, a lot of Facebook posts, some emails, and a lot of articles actually from Politico on up that have shown that maybe this whole Donald Trump phenomenon is over. Okay, well, let's look at this for a second. Ted Cruz won Iowa, yes, and big congratulations to Ted Cruz. He got 8 delegates out of it. Marco Rubio got 7 delegates out of it, and so did Donald Trump. So, delegate-wise, they're all right there. Remember, one state, one caucus. Now we move to New Hampshire, where all polls indicate that Donald Trump has a tremendous lead in New Hampshire. Could his numbers collapse? Absolutely they could collapse. Could Marco Rubio win New Hampshire? Of course he could. So could Chris Christie. So could John Kasich. So could Jeb Bush. It all depends on how the poll numbers look. I actually expect for Marco Rubio to rise in New Hampshire, but I expect because Donald Trump's lead in New Hampshire is so large, and the vote is just a week away, I don't know if a total collapse of Donald Trump is actually going to happen in the next week. That would be hard for me to believe. I still think that Donald Trump finishes in the top 3 in New Hampshire. If he doesn't win New Hampshire, it's possible that he does win the state of New Hampshire in the next primary. So those who are already celebrating and said that it's the end of Donald Trump, I think the end might be near, but don't count out Donald Trump just yet. This has been a crazy election season. It's good to see that some people are coming around to Marco Rubio and to Ted Cruz. I know Rush Limbaugh on his show was talking about how it's crazy to think about Marco Rubio as the establishment guy, that he's nowhere near the type of establishment guy that we saw with Mitt Romney or John McCain or really any of the other major Republicans that we've seen later, think John Boehner. Nowhere close to that. Marco Rubio, and I have disagreed with Marco Rubio, just like I've disagreed with Ted Cruz at times. But with Marco Rubio, I firmly believe that he's a conservative. I absolutely believe that. Now, is he as consistent as a conservative as Ted Cruz? Probably not. But, you know, that's something that voters have to decide. That's something that people will look at as this election goes on. I will say this. Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, much more conservative, at least consistency-wise, than Donald Trump. And so that might be something that eventually does bring down Donald Trump. But we'll see how all the polling numbers come out. It's going to be maybe a day or two before we see the real ramifications of what happened in Iowa and how that plays out in New Hampshire and also South Carolina. Remember, in numerous states, Donald Trump is leading and leading big. That includes the last poll that I saw out of Florida, Donald Trump leading big. So don't count Donald Trump dead yet. He's still alive, and if he wins New Hampshire, well, guess what, folks? This is still a race, and it might be a 3-person race, but it's still a race. Donald Trump is still in this thing. So is Marco Rubio, and so is Ted Cruz. It's a 3-man race right now. Follow us on Twitter, Chad HD Radio. Also, subscribe down below to the KFYO YouTube page. Comment below as well. Like, dislike the video. Comment. Leave your thoughts as well, whether you support Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Ben Carson, whoever. Leave your thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you. And be sure to tune in to the Chad Hasty Show weekday mornings 8:30 to 11 on News Talk 790 KFYO and streaming online at KFYO.com And be sure to download the Radio Pup app. Those of you who like to listen to the show on your phone, download the Radio Pup app, and you can listen to us wherever you travel to. Have a great day. I'm Chad Hasty. Have a good one.